Jewish Israeli researchers that study genocides and are Holocaust researchers have deemed this as a genocide. Okay?
Population grew.
That's irrelevant. Every expert on this is saying that this is a genocide, to include Israeli humanitarian groups. That's number one.
The population grew.
Number two, your figure is 40,000 have died. Fair.
1 to 1.
And then you said that about 21,000 were Hamas fighters, right?
At least.
Okay. That means that 19,000 people that are innocent died.
Myron Gaines has a podcast, and that podcast recently spewed all sorts of anti-Jewish rhetoric about the Holocaust, justifying it, really saying that it should happen again. So take a look at this clip over here, where he's talking to different people who come to the mic, and then who comes to the mic is an Israeli soldier. And you're not going to want to miss what happens next. So let's watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Yeah, see, this proves my point.
I agree.
They want to make accusations, and then when I got the proof, like, okay, let's talk about it. You're just a terrible person, but they can't explain how I was wrong.
I think what she's saying is true, and I could explain it.
Hold on 1 second. Until you can call me a liar, and tell me specifically what I lied about, okay? You already left the mic. It's his turn now. It's his turn. You already left the mic. It's his turn now. Bro, I gave you a chance. Like, what's wrong with you?
What's up, brother?
All right, what's up, man? So
it's an interesting genocide, right? When the population actually grows, right?
Uh-huh.
How does that work? Because in general, when a genocide happens, the population gets, lessened. Over here, the population actually grew. Also, in the stats that you're citing, which is from the Hamas Health Ministry.
Which figure exactly?
The figure of the amount of people who died.
Okay, which number?
Which number would you like?
You weren't listening. Which number?
Which number would you like?
No, I'm asking you, which number are you disputing?
Any number that you want.
How many do you think died then?
I think it was about 1,000.
You think about 40,000?
Yes.
Okay, let's go with 40,000.
Yeah.
It's more, but that's fine. We'll go 40,000.
However much you want. You could use 50, 60,
no,
whatever.
let's use 40.
100.
That's fine.
That's
fine. Now, let me ask you, how many of those 40,000 were Hamas?
Quite a few. More than half.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say maybe...
More than half.
Okay, what do you estimate?
Let's say 21.
Okay.
Let's just use it on a low end. I think it was higher, but let's say 21.
Okay.
Do you know how urban war...
Oh, so here's... Okay,
I
let's
was a soldier. I know how warfare works.
That's great.
In urban warfare, there's a higher percentage of civilian casualties in every single instance that there was urban warfare. There was a higher percentage of individual casualties than 1-to-1. In this, there's a miraculous 1-to-1. In addition to that, one more point, if you will have it.
Go ahead.
One more point is that there so happens to be no deaths from old ages accounted into this. And in a population of 2 million, we have a perfect statistic of the amount of deaths expected from old ages. But go ahead. You could spew whatever it is you want to spew. I will tell you one last thing before I end, is that Israel will stand strong, regardless of if the whole entire world, all 212 countries stand and tell us that we're wrong, we will stand and survive. But you could go ahead and you could tell us about the genocide where the population expanded. You could tell us about the genocide where somehow the one where this is the most moral army in the world. Israel did not have to send out text messages and phone calls to the areas that they're bombing. They do not need to evacuate the population.
When you say 1-to-1 ratio, do you mean civilian to Hamas fighter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, every single civilian death in war is unfortunate, and it's a sad occurrence. But this is actually unprecedented in the history of urban warfare. The United States and its allies have acted a lot more irrationally, quote unquote. I think it was rational, but a lot less. The ratio was a lot worse when it comes to this type of war, where you're fighting in a built-up zone against combatants that are hiding behind the civilian populations as a matter of policy, against combatants who are sworn to your destruction regardless of the price. This is a very, very simple equation. Whoever comes to kill you, our says, wake up and kill them first. Now, anybody could say whatever it is they want. I could stand here against the entire world, all 6, 7 billion, 8 billion of them, and we will stand strong until the last man jack. That might hurt to an anti-guy, but we will do it, and I will be there with them. But go ahead.
Okay, so the first point you made was that there isn't a genocide happening. Well, almost every, where's he going? Where's he going? No, no. Let me address your points. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. So I let him speak, right? I let him speak, and now he doesn't even want to stand on how he's about to get embarrassed right now, because I'm about to single one of his points.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Okay.
it. Give me a second. Give me a
All right.
second. Let me hear what this anti-Semitic grifter has to say.
Let me speak.
He has the platform. Go ahead.
Let me speak, and I let you say everything that you want to say.
Yeah. Let them know that the Jews won't take this silently. But go ahead.
Okay. So the first claim you made was that this isn't a genocide. Every single genocide
Population.
Okay. Every single genocide expert, to include Jewish Israeli researchers that study genocides and are Holocaust researchers, have deemed this as a genocide. Okay.
Population
now,
grew.
That's irrelevant. Systematically removing a
The
group of
population
people,
grew.
and there's also an ethnic cleansing. Every expert on this is
The
saying that this is a
population grew.
genocide, to include Israeli humanitarian groups. That's number one.
The
So that's not
population
correct.
grew.
Number two, your figure is 40,000 have died. Fair.
1 to 1.
Okay. Well, yeah. And then you said that about 21,000 were Hamas fighters, right?
At least.
Okay. That means that 19,000 people that are innocent died. That's
Urban warfare
unacceptable.
is unfortunate.
That's no. Oh,
Hiroshima.
it's unfortunate. Let me ask you this: what if Hamas said, "Oh, sorry, bro, we killed 600 of your people"? Would you accept that?
Hamas is not a fighter. Hamas targets civilians by default. That is
Really?
their 1-2 step. Yes.
Really?
They are sworn to our very
Who's
destruction.
killed more civilians during this conflict?
You could actually try and ratio as you want, but if somebody came and killed one of my children, I will go out and kill every single last one of them.
So you'll
Yes.
kill even innocent people.
I will kill anybody who's responsible for the death
There
of my
you go.
children.
There you go.
Yes.
So, basically, if you're numbers,
I don't know what kind of pussy you are, that if somebody came and threatened your family, you would
Getting
sit there
emotional.
and take it and say like, oh,
Getting very
let me
emotional.
try avoid collateral damage.
So
It's
anyway.
very simple.
Look,
Anybody who
can you stop
threatens
interrupting
me,
for 2 seconds?
they are right now signing
Look,
their death warrant and their
Look,
families.
I need you to relax a little bit.
I'm
Let me
pretty
finish-
relaxed,
let
but
me
you
finish
seem
what I'm
you seem
saying.
to be talking.
I was very calm
out
when
of-
you were giving your numbers. Let me please finish what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead.
So, first, you said it wasn't a genocide. Every genocide
Population
researcher,
grew.
every prominent genocide researcher is saying this qualifies
But
as
the
a genocide.
population grew.
That's number one. Number
How
two,
does that happen in a
number
genocide?
Two, number two.
My nation suffered
Number
a
two, please let me
genocide. We
finish.
lost 6 million
Let me
people. That's a
finish.
genocide.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Next, you claim that 19,000 innocent people died. Even if I went
In
with your
urban
figure,
warfare?
even if I went with your figure, that is too much. Okay.
Urban warfare?
Now,
In
hold
urban
on.
warfare, the
Dude,
ratio is
bro,
12 to 1.
bro,
Did you see
gotta
what
stop.
happened in the
You have
Philippines
to-
in Middle War,
you have
in
to
the World
stop.
War
You
II?
have to stop. You have to stop. Let me finish what I'm saying because this all weaves together. Please stop interrupting. Okay? You're claiming that 19,000 innocent people have died. That is still unacceptable. And I'll tell you why it's unacceptable.
It's sad.
You mentioned urban
Not
warfare.
unacceptable.
No, it's unacceptable.
No, you're
it's
wrong.
unacceptable.
You don't know urban
Just like-
warfare.
Just like, here's the difference between me and you. I think it's unacceptable that Israelis died on that day, but you think it's totally acceptable for 19,000
Urban
innocent
warfare
people.
has-
Oh, now you're saying urban warfare.
Yes, urban
Notice
warfare
how
in general,
you
in the history
justify-
of urban warfare,
Okay,
there's
well,
been 12 to 1
by your
ratio.
logic, by your
The United
logic,
States has
Hamas
liberated
was
the
doing urban
Philippines in
warfare
World
too.
War II
By your
with
logic,
12 to 1 ratio.
By your logic, doing
In
so
Japan
they're
in
better
World
than
War
you guys
II?
at urban warfare. They
What?
killed less civilians.
We're amazing at urban
Oh,
warfare.
okay. See now, when I put the
No,
shoe
no,
on
no.
the other
What do you?
foot, it
What?
doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
what
Now-
big? What?
now let's
what
continue
big?
on.
What big?
Now let's continue.
Myron Gaines is being very disingenuous over here. He's saying that there's a genocide going on and that in this urban warfare conflict, that the tens of thousands of civilians that have died is unacceptable. And in other words, Israel in a different than every other war that has ever been fought, and particularly those that have been fought in urban warfare settings. He makes the notion that that people, all of the experts, all the Holocaust experts, all of the genocide experts, everybody is in agreement over here, and that's just not the case. In fact, the historian, Holocaust historian Norman Goda, he emphasized that in the 1948 Genocide Convention, the intent to destroy a protected group has to be proven. You have to have an intention that you are trying to destroy this particular people. And he argues that the conditions that are in Gaza are just not meeting the genocide qualifications. He reasons that the conflict has been framed as a fight against Hamas, not Palestinians, not civilians, and the current claims often rely on questionable casualty data or politicized motives. In other words, that the key in calling something a genocide is not how many people have died, it's the intention behind their death. Israel has killed many civilians in this war, but that was not their intention. They weren't going out purposely trying to kill civilians. Hamas, on the other hand, purposely goes out and targets civilians. When they went out on October 7th, what took place was the direct attack of civilians. Not that civilians got caught up in it, not that on the way to attacking an Israeli army base or some sort of government facility that they ran over some civilians. This was a targeted attack. They landed in a music festival and just started killing young people, doing all sorts of terrible things, running to kibbutzim, running to neighborhoods that border their own, that border Gaza, and some of the most left-leaning neighborhoods that were all about two-state solution, that were all about making peace, that were all like not the right-wingers and the hardliners and all of these people that you hear about in the news. These are the people that were the most embracing of two-state solutions and welcoming and everything like that. And they went in and they went family by family, killing the families in front of their children in the most horrific way, killing children in front of parents, parents in front of children, killing like we've never seen it before in quite some time. And so the intention was to kill innocents. That is a genocide. That is an attempted genocide. If Hamas had the means, if Israel was a weaker army and Hamas had more of an infrastructure, more weaponry, more power, they carry out with the intention of killing civilians. It's in their charter. They want Jews dead. They want Jews destroyed. And so if anyone is committing a genocide, or has the intention to kill civilians, as how genocide is determined, it is Hamas and only Hamas. Furthermore, when talking about urban warfare, the structure is different than in other war settings. In urban warfare, you have a dense isolated area where combatants are mixed in with civilians. They are living in a very densely populated area. Gaza is one of the most densely populated areas on planet Earth. And what takes place over here, the IDF has implemented extensive civilian protection measures, advanced warning systems, as this soldier alluded to, calls, texts, voicemail, real-time monitoring, ongoing investigations into any civilian harm incidents. The State Department's John also noted no findings of violations in international humanitarian law. In fact, when it comes to urban warfare, some of the greatest experts on planet Earth, first and foremost is John Spencer, the foremost expert on urban warfare out of West Point in the United States. And he says that not only is Israel not committing a genocide, and not only are they being ruthless in the urban warfare context, that they are outperforming any other military situation in the history of urban warfare. That to have a 1-to-1 ratio or a 1 to 1.5 ratio of civilians and combatants, to have that sort of ratio in an urban warfare context is something John Spencer has repeatedly said is something that the rest of the world can learn from, can gain from, should aspire to. Oftentimes, urban warfare conflicts have a 1-to-9 ratio, right, at least. And so this idea that everybody says it's a genocide and everyone agrees that the urban warfare, that Israel is out of control, not so fast, buddy. That's just not the case. The truth is that every civilian casualty, no matter if it's on the Israeli side or the Palestinian side, every civilian casualty is a tragedy. And Israel looks at it like that. The United States looks at it like that. Any moral army looks at civilian casualty as a tragedy. But for Hamas, civilian casualty is merely a strategy. It is a strategy to get the numbers going higher. They don't care about civilians. It's a strategy to garner world attention and world support and to further their own evil purposes. If they can't win the war with guns and mortar, they want to try to win the war with public sentiment. And that's something we need to be so aware of and careful of when examining this situation. So I'm glad that this Israeli army officer made his points and also kept articulating that there's more people, right? When the genocide claim, right? The people grew, the population grew, the population grew, the population grew. Because that's the thing you have to remember when assessing this whole situation. Love to hear your comments below. And if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.